This is the real Uncensored Browns fan, and we are into week 3 of the 2019 NFL season, where we are playing the Los Angeles Rams here at home game. The runner-ups for the Super Bowl. A very, very good team. A team that was kind of like us not too long ago. Back in St. Louis, they made the switch to LA. They had one more bad year, and then they kind of just took off from there. So, if anything we could kind of take from this is that that it could be us. That this year it could be us. Now, when you go into this game and you say, all right, do we have an actual chance to win it? I always believe that. I always say every game we got a chance to win. I say it right now. And we going to win it. But, honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I want to be able to see our line hold up. I also want to be able to see us to remain in the run game, get Nick Chubb the ball, try to make some bigger holes for him to be able to run through and have a really big game. And that allowed Baker to be able to set the play action and be able to go a lot of different places with the ball. I want to be able to see Baker make his progressions. I want to see him make, not just stare down one receiver on one side of the field. I want him to go back to what we saw from him last year, and that's make other guys better. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already got a good talented guy, just make them better. Another thing I feel like is really it's a problem is that our injury report. I was just starting to see, I guess, the greatness out of Christian Kirksey, and then it looks like he's going to be in the IR. David Njoku, who I kind of called out earlier this year to need to have a better blocking, blocking protection and add that to his game, has now broke his wrist. So I don't think there'll be any blocking or any improvement on blocking this year, which is unfortunate because at this point I think like this is his contract year. I'm not sure. I think it's his contract year, and if that's so, then I don't know if we're keeping him. That's to be seen. See, how long this wrist thing comes back. But like I said, if he's not going to be able to improve on that blocking, what do we do? So, I think, what else? We lost Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams. They're listed as questionable, but with a hamstring injury, you wonder how effective that they're going to be. If it's just going to be something that slows the team down, subtraction by addition. I don't want to say that because they're very talented players. Obviously, I'm very high on Greedy, very high on Denzel. But, obviously they're injured. And if the injury is going to be I feel like the defense definitely needs to play, or as far as the secondary needs to play more man-to-man. I feel like that's our specialty. I know that Steve Wilkes likes to run a zone, but you got to play with what your team has, or what's the likeness of what your team has. But right now, two of our most dominant man-to-man guys are questionable, so we might have to run the zone. But I just don't really trust zone schemes, man. I think that zone schemes make it easy. As long as the quarterback has the time in the pocket, the quarterback can do whatever they want against the zone. And the Rams did go to the Super Bowl last year, so I don't think their offensive linemen are scrubs or any like type of chumps or anything like that. So you also want to be able to we got a great defensive line to be able to combat that offensive line, but they got to get there. If they're going to run that zone, they got to get there right away. And I believe they can do it. I believe that this defensive line is the cornerstone, you know what I mean, of what we are trying to accomplish on defense, and trying to force bad mistakes, bad decisions, turnovers, turnover on downs, all of that. So, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, like with Steve Wilkes, we do give up a lot of he in the past. His defense have gave up a lot of passing yards. So as long as we can put that, but this also puts in perspective. This gets the with Christian Kirksey being down, this allows Mac Wilson the opportunity to really show me, my doubters. I mean, I've been championing for Mac Wilson since pre-draft, so like to really get to see how he's gonna fare, uh, you know, in the NFL start if he gets the start, or really see some, a significant amount of action. It's time to see what we got. See what this future is, because I know Kirksey's deals is starting to wind down, and he hasn't even been very healthy, throughout, his career here. I mean, in the beginning, yeah, but, within the past few years or so, it's been a lot of games missed. So you starting to wonder, you start to worry to what if, his body's starting to break down or whatever. I mean, you wish for a speedy recovery, but, this is a team. This is it is business. Um, I mean, you would love to keep him here as a leader, but it's about time where we start to get production, and we already are a young team, so I mean we'll see what's going on, man. We played the Rams, man. This is a stack up, man. Like I talk my shit. I talk a lot of shit. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Especially, and it's sometimes it's funny because it's us. You know what I'm saying? It's the Browns or whatever like that. It's the team or whatever. They always been known as fans, and the team has been known as just losers or supportive of losers and things like that. But I talk a lot of shit because I feel like we have that opportunity to be great. Now, this is something where I had kind of caught some flack on. Not too much flack. I feel like people felt me, but at the same time, it's kind of hard really saying stuff like this. But in the Super Bowl, I feel like Jared Goff folded straight up. I feel like the stage was way too big for him. He folded, and that was the whole reason why they didn't win that. I honestly believe that the Saints should have came out of that year, but the Patriots somehow, some way, finesse their way to get the referees to call a bad call, so they had to play the Saints and play the Rams against a team they knew they had more of a chance of scaring out of Jared Goff. Because, like I'm telling you, man, he looked like deer in headlights in that game, man. I mean, the stage was just way too bright. It was way too big for him. I don't see that out of Baker, man. I don't see that out of our quarterback, yo. Straight up, I don't see it out of Baker. And this, I hope that the team comes together and allows me to have that bragging rights to say that I was right, man. I really want them to see that, see them, pull off this victory. We gotta wait a long time. The game started at 8 o'clock, so we got some hours or whatever. Honestly, I do want to make sure that like the defense holds their job and Baker shows his job. Show them that when he gets to that stage that he's not going to fold. I know he's having his struggles right now, but it was to be expected, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's not. He's a sophomore quarterback. I'm not saying that I did expect a significant amount of improvement, but it's only been 2 weeks of the season, so I'm not about to hit the panic button. I'm not about to rule him out. I'm not about to rule this team out. Anybody on this team. I know I have my disagreements as far as like who's on the roster or whatever like that. Odell Beckham being number one. I mean, that's just because, like, for one, I never really seen his game. Second, all I know is for, what I'm saying, what the media portrays him as. And when you start to hear those type of things, it's like you kind of want to stay away. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like what John Dorsey has been building here has been a solid culture that that really values hard work, um, effort, and just straight up football. Just like people that want to play football. And I know that they say that, but when you kind of, with Odell Beckham, that he does, want to be one of the greats. But when you kind of add the extra, so I mean, everybody could be a little extra. Everybody could be themselves. That's fine, and I feel it. Where he feels like people coming at him, because I get that. You know what I mean? From time to time, where people just come at me for whatever reason. I don't understand it, but it's time that we don't make these excuses. I want to see um, I want to see what the greatness I see them having. I want to make sure that they take advantage of this opportunity, because uh, we never had a team that's good, and the fact that we never had this team that's good and we always been close in it, they just got to come together. They got to find a way to just mesh it and just make that nice little season, that nice little sauce, that nice little drip, to make sure that we come out with this victory. So I'm gonna wrap it up off this one, man. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that the offense stay with the Nick Chubb scheme, man. Keep running that rock 20 times, man. I don't care at what it looked like. Even if we start to get behind, take control of this game, because if we do not take control of this game and we get into a game plan that they want us to play, we will fucking lose. Same thing on defense. Get to the quarterback. If we still got our man-to-man guys, I mean, I don't know what's going on with T. Mitch, man, because I don't hear it. I'm looking in the wire and looking in the news feeds, and they ain't really saying too much about him. So I wonder if he's gonna be playing too. But I don't see him on the injury reserve list, so I'm hoping he's playing. But he's a great man-to-man dude too. You know what I'm saying? When Greg Williams was here, we ran a lot of man-to-man in the secondary. So continue with that, and Matt Wilson, you gotta have a big game, and shout outs to Seibert, man. Seibert, whatever his name. Last game he did make all of his field goals. We're gonna need that again, because it's gonna come down to that for sure. So I think that's really what my intakes are right now. We gotta wait to see what the game is. Go Browns. I'm gonna go ahead and head out of this, man. Love, peace, and brownies.